So the first question was asking us to create a self-promotional plan and write an essay to explain the underlying goal, the research I carried out, who the target audience is, what the central message of the campaign is, and what traditional and digital channels I plan to use. I began by reviewing the previous module of self-promotion and packaging, looking at my brand identity, values and messages. I found that it doesn't show much energy, but it does reflect maturity and professionalism. I then created a mood board with aesthetics of how I want my new branding to look, with more fun colours, more graphic curves, more playful shapes. I then created some sketches of the new logo design, played with typefaces and manipulation, looked at colour schemes, composition, and on the bottom right corner you can see the final design. I then outlined from some of the existing ideal job listings that I could find and what I was looking for and what they were asking for. I then defined my short and long-term goals and also who my primary target audience was, which was clients and employers. I created a rough annual budget calendar which shows the tactics and how I'm going to implement the tactics and how much the budget would be for each one. I then put this into InDesign and made a final copy. This copy follows my new brand identity with colours and typefaces. We were then asked to create a resume and a cover letter which we would use to create a brochure which unfolded into a poster using the folding techniques from this article. We were then asked to create a video resume and upload it to YouTube. First, practiced some of the folding techniques from the article. I then looked at this existing brochure example which had folding techniques within it. This was by Carousel in Nottingham. It was to create a mood board of the inspiration for the aesthetics and the layout of my brochure. I found this article which made a card/brochure design out of accordion folds and cutting techniques. I used the practice folding technique and created the layout straight on that as I could see where the placement of textual and visual elements would go. This was the final design. Started to brainstorm what I wanted to include in the video resume and looked at other examples from previous artists. I then found an existing job listing for which the employer would become my new audience. This is the creating and editing process, including a script. Everything was done on Premiere Pro. Here's the final video resume, which you can follow the link here to look at. We were then asked to write a 300-word blog, which involved any design topic of your choice. It had to include your personal experiences and opinions. Then we had to design the article web page and create a mock-up of this page. Next was to create a cinematograph using the image that we used in the article. And finally, the article would be promoted using a brochure that was made with the folding technique shown in the book. Started by brainstorming some blog topics and also the blog style. I looked at existing blog examples and also looked at some tips and tricks on how to create a successful blog. Once I'd written the blog, I started on the design of the web page. That's the mood board for the aesthetics that I wanted to go for. Tried out different layout options, different ideas for the title of the blog, and this is the final design. Then began to create the cinematograph for the blog. Just some of the techniques taken from the book. Did sketches for the layout. Decided on the type of fold that I was going to use. I did some testing just to get some dimensions and some ideas of the scale. This was the final brochure using the folding techniques in the book. Final question, we were asked to create an original artwork that could be placed on a physical product and could be sold on online marketplaces. I began by brainstorming some ideas for what products I wanted to use and what design style. I looked at trends on Instagram to see what was popular in the clothing and started creating some sketches and a mood board for the aesthetic. This was the process of the typeface manipulation. Final colour variations. Took some photos that I could use for the mock-ups. It's me creating the final mock-ups.